Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal. We are back again, this time to talk about the latest, the breaking news on Declan Rice. Mr. Deckers. I would be so happy and I'd scream the day we get this deal done. But there's some breaking news on David Ornstein and Fabrizio Romano on Declan Rice, Mr. Deckers. So according to David Ornstein, Arsenal have now made a second improved offer to West Ham for Declan Rice. 75 million plus 15 million add-ons. Club record proposal for the 24-year-old England midfielder expected to be turned down by West Ham, but Arsenal getting closer to acceptable fee for top targets. So we've offered 90 million. The structure keeps on changing. I think that is what is bringing the trouble and the problem. West Ham want a certain structure, and they're not agreeing with the add-ons and everything because the add-ons are apparently they're unrealistic. Maybe to do something to do with Arsenal winning the Champions League or Arsenal winning the Premier League, and they think that is impossible for Arsenal to do over the next couple of years, and they want something more attainable. But for the price, I have no problem with negotiating because I've seen people saying, why not just give them 100 million? Why not just finish off this deal? You cannot do that. You have to negotiate, especially for players worth 100 million. It cannot be easy because people have been saying, okay, they want 100 million, just give them 100 million. It's not our money. That's not how you approach transfer windows as a fan, as a directors or whatever. You can't show your weakness in the transfer market. So let's say we went to West Ham in the very first day of the transfer window, and said, okay, you know what? West Ham, here's 105 million for Declan Rice. Do you reckon they'd say, yeah, that is fine. That is fine. You can have Declan Rice, 105 million we'll take. No, they'd be like, you know what? These guys really have money. Like they're about to give us 105 million for Declan Rice. You know what? Let's switch the story. Let's say we want 120 million now because they have money. They're offering us 105 million being the first offer. We want 120 million. And you know what? If you give them like 105 million as a first offer, they'll be like, you know what? We also don't need to give them for 105 million. We can wait for other teams like Man City and Bayern Munich to come. And when they come in for him, we'll be like, you know what? Arsenal offered 105 million. We want 230 million for this player. You know, you cannot just go in and say, here's 100 million. Julian Timber, how much do you want? 50 million. Here it is. Kaiser, how much do you want? 90 million, 100 million? Here it is. How much do you want for this goalkeeper? 60 million? Here it is. Now, there has to be negotiation. Otherwise, every team would have already signed 3 players by now. Chelsea would have already signed Kaiser by now. Kim Min-jae and Mount would have been Man United players by now. Kim would have probably be at Bayern Munich right now. Every single team would have already bought 3 players if there were no negotiations. There has to be negotiations. Yes, people can be scared about Man City coming in. Yes, they can be scared about Bayern Munich coming in. But I also don't really take into consideration this Man City story because for other players, yes, it's not like Man City just discovered how good Declan Rice is. It's not like they just found out that Arsenal wants Declan Rice. It's not just like they just found out like, oh my goodness, Declan Rice actually plays really well in the Premier League and for England. We need to finish this and go for him next. It's not like that. Obviously, they knew Declan Rice was always a good player. They always knew that. So my thinking is, even if he made the bid back in February, 100 million, Man City would still have asked for him. They would have been like, okay, Arsenal can pay 100 million. Give us a couple of more weeks. We'll be back. Maybe can give you more than that. Even if we gave them 200 million, Man City would still have asked for the player. So whichever way you'd have done it, whichever time you'd have done it, Man City have still come in for him. So whichever way, Man City would still try to spoil it for us. They wouldn't let us get Declan Rice that easily. So I don't really mind Arsenal taking time on it because you also have to earn your respect in the transfer window. The moment if you give Rice 130 million for West Ham, 130 million right now for Declan Rice, all the other deals you're trying to do would be very difficult. All of a sudden, Chelsea will say, wow, Arsenal have paid 130 million for Declan Rice. We want 90 million for Havertz. Since you have money, you've not really bought any that many expensive players recently. We want 90 million for Havertz. Every team will start bullying in the transfer market, and that is what has been happening the past few years with Arsenal. Like we let Ramsey go out on a free to Juventus, and then they try selling him to us 1 year later for like 50 million. That is being bullied and being basically disrespecting the transfer market. You have to show your negotiation powers. It's only 5 days into the transfer window. The only way I can agree with you guys saying why we're taking time is maybe negotiate it like indoors, closed doors and everything, and then you come to a particular fee and then maybe you offer that later on. Maybe don't do the negotiations publicly, but there's always going to be leaks, and most of them could probably be coming from West Ham. West Ham can be like, you know what, you don't need to keep this a secret. Let's put it out there so that Man City, Chelsea, and Man United can come in for him. That could also happen. So I don't assume these deals are that easy to do. Like they just wake up in the morning and that says, like I do give them 110 million. Okay, give this one 80 million. Okay, give this one 90 million. Now you'll run out of money. If you indeed have a budget of 180 million, you have to use it sparingly because the difference, people are like, another thing I've heard, it's only 5 million, it's only 10 million difference. That 10 million could be the difference between you not getting the fourth player or the fifth player, or getting the fourth and the fifth player. Let's say you get, let's use Kaiser and Rice, for example. If you buy them for 100 million, if your budget is 200 million, and then you buy Rice and Caicedo for 100 million each, that is 200 million gone. If you can negotiate the Rice deal down to 90 million, and then you pay 80 million first, and then 20 million 10 million later on, you've already saved 20 million there. And if you can bring down the Caicedo deal to like 85, you've already saved 35 million from that. Otherwise, you'd have given them 200 million, two players done. But now all of a sudden you have an extra 35 million where you can add to maybe sell one plate. All of a sudden it's 40 and you can try and get another player. So there has to be negotiation power throughout. You cannot just wake up and how much do you want? 200 million? Here it is. It's just like bargaining when you go to a shop that accepts bargaining. You don't go and put your highest fee for a shoe or for a piece of cloth or whatever. You have to start from a minimum, the least you can, then you try to work your way up. You can't start from high and then work your way down. You have to start from low and work your way up. That's how it is. That's just how it is. They're not going to do it quickly because we want it to be done quickly. Yes, fans want it to be done quickly because of the Mudryk deal and the Tielemans deals from before. We are scared. People are scared of Man City coming in. But then they know the player wants to come to Arsenal. The player's already said he wants to come to Arsenal. So West Ham have to sell him. Yes, they can keep him until next season, but they're only going to get like 50, 40 million next season. So maybe after a couple of days, maybe after a couple of weeks, they'll be like, you know what, there's no other team coming in for him and he really wants to join Arsenal. Let's accept this 85 million. Let's accept this 90 million. So you have to show negotiation powers. According to Fabrizio Romano, West Ham are expected to reject second proposal from Arsenal for Declan Rice, 90 million total fee, 75 million plus 15 million add-ons. West Ham believe 15 million add-ons are also difficult to achieve. Hammers still expect Man City to enter the race this week. Arsenal remain confident. As I said throughout this week, I'm not concerned about Man City entering the race. Again, some fans are scared, or most Arsenal fans are scared because Man City could enter the race. Now, if you show West Ham that you're scared Man City are entering the race and you're going to pay a lot of money because Man City are entering the race, all the other teams, even if Man City don't want their players, every time Arsenal wants, let's say, Timber, Ajax could be like, you know what, let's say Man City also want him so that Arsenal can up their offer. They can finish this deal quickly. Every single team will be like, oh, Arsenal are scared of Man City joining the race. Let's always say that Man City want this particular player, and then Arsenal will always pay that money right away because they're scared of Man City. No, you cannot let yourself be that club. You have to exercise your negotiation power. You have to do it. You just have to do it. You can't let teams dominating the transfer market. You have to be brave. You have to show your power pretty much. You have to show your power. So I'm happy them taking time. Hopefully, though, it's done like this week or next week latest, because I want us to get it done before the games are played, before the preseason starts or anything like that. I want it to get done as early as possible so that it gets time to train with the team and all that. So that's the latest on Declan Rice. I'm still confident you're going to get him through the door. Let's see what happens in West Ham. If you're going to reject this, if you want players from Arsenal, once again, this is the last time I'm going to say this. Come here, West Ham. We are going to offer you 3 players, not just any players, 3 Arsenal legends. Number 1, we are going to give you Rob Holdini. Like, this is the next, like, coming of Maldini. Like, this guy is better than Tony Adams, better than Sol Campbell. It would hurt us to give you Holdini, one of their best defenders, but we are going to reluctantly give him to you because we really want Declan Rice. We are also going to give you Ranasson, a backup for Fabianski. 2 former Arsenal goalkeepers would work out well. We had to sell Ranasson. We had to loan him out because he was too good for Arsenal. So I'm imagining he would be so good for you guys. And this is another transfer that would hurt Arsenal fans, but we are willing to give him to you. And finally, we are going to give him Mohamed El Neni for the culture. He is really going to help you guys. And in midfield, he's a perfect replacement for Declan Rice. So 90 million plus 3 players, surely. That is like, you're basically compromising for you. Come on, take it. Thank you, Weston. So that is the latest on Declan Rice. Let's hope we hear more news on this one. I'm pretty sure we are going to hear 1 or 2 deals this week. We just have to remain patient for a couple of more days. Let them work their magic, do it at it, and anyone involved in the negotiations, and let's see what happens. Thank you for watching, and I'll definitely catch up with you guys very, very soon. A lot going on.